started this team, Valley Racing. I have two young guys racing with me, and kind of a laugh because one's 41 and one's 43. Both of them done it a long time and very, very helpful for us. We raced the former USA Championship Series, and presently, right now, we're sitting in 4th in the GTO class and 11th overall out of 79 teams. So it's a remarkable thing to start this at this age and be continuing on. Oh, it feels unbelievable. It's unbelievable that we were leading this race. Going into the 60th lap, we were leading the GTO, and we're also leading the overall, which is unbelievable. I had two really, really great riders with me, Joe Ribeiro and Joe Spina. They really, really brought the thing to the front. Seeing I just started this, and I turned 65 on Tuesday, I want to tell you, it's unbelievable. Life does begin at 60. There's no two ways about it.
My name is Willard Jones.
Would you mind telling me your age?
I'm 56. Been riding for about 6 years. I've always ridden a GP bike. I'm one of the elderly statesmen of the profession. Started late in life. Retired from the military.
What branch?
Air Force. I was an Air Force officer. Spent my last 8 years at the Pentagon. Kenny Roberts was one of my all-time favorites.
Right.
And I've always wanted to ride a GP bike and didn't think I'd get a chance to do it. And when I did, I jumped on it and enjoyed it ever since.
How'd you do in qualifying?
Didn't too badly, considered this is my first time running in this event. Haven't had very many laps here at the track. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the pack. So.
Where do you hail from? How long a trip is this for you?
From Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, so this is right around the corner.
That's not bad.
My name is Laura, and I started riding when a boyfriend and I broke up.
Excellent.
Racing is great, and it's sometimes strange being a woman racing because you're racing against all the guys, but it's great. It's a lot of fun.
I'm Rebecca, and when I grew up, my parents had Harleys and such, and so I've never been really afraid of the idea of motorcycles, and they've always been part of what I've been around. And so when David and I were just started dating, he took me out on his BMW R11 RS, and he thought as he walked up to my apartment, I hope she likes the bike. And, well, that's mine now, and I don't think he meant that much. And then a year or so later, in honor of my birthday, he bought himself a new 125, so I got the old one. I said, well, where's my race license? And I did that last year, and now I've been racing, and it has been such a load of fun. And I just keep trying to get faster and faster, and I think it'll happen. It's been interesting. I have one of the most supportive husbands in the world who will maintain both of our bikes. And when I offer to help, he's very patient in showing me what needs to be done, even if it slows him down, because he knows that he'll get that back later when I'm actually changing his jet for him. Exactly. I'm mixing gas for him. I'm doing whatever. And we're a great team. He's the best man in the world. So patient. He teaches me things. He'll ride behind me for a while and then pass me. It's like my own personal teacher now. He's not winning every race, if any, but he's better than me, so he's got so much to teach me. Until I get faster, I got it great.
Well, and my husband's the same way, and Brian's actually, he's been teaching me. I changed my jet, or I changed his jet for the first time the other day. Pulled the carb out by myself and did everything, and so he's showing me how to pull the bike apart, and it's actually starting to make the bike make more sense to me.
Father got me a little bike when I was younger.
That's it.
A little mini bike. There's no favoritism in my family. Whatever it is that we both had to do, we both had to do. So my brother wanted a mini bike. We both had to ride it. We both had to learn. From there, let's see, my brother moved up, and when he was old enough, got a street bike, graduated onto another bike, which left one at home. So I learned how to ride that. And then a boyfriend at the time got me into racing. So, yeah, peer pressure.
We were talking about the fact that men typically get women into.
Yeah, I think, well, ultimately into the competitive side of things. I mean, I like to ride, but I would never dream of actually competing. And he got me into that, and it was a little YSR. It was his bike. So I went on to that, we broke up, and I just kept going because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the community, I enjoyed the racing, and I found that I was very competitive. And after winning the YSR championship, woohoo! I set a self.
No, that wasn't just the girls' version.
No,
that
I
was
raced
like
the guys.
everybody, guys
I
and
raced the
girls.
guys.
David, the one that I was bragging about earlier. He may be my tuner and may be great in the pits and everything, but he's relentless on the track and decided that even though there was only one more lap, in fact, there was only half a lap left, he'd lap me anyway.
I'll be sleeping on the sofa tonight for sure, but it was worth it.
Liar, liar.
Oh, goodness, you're really in love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's disgusting in the pits.
All the racers here are so helpful to each other that people, when they see that you need something, they will offer it, or if you have to go ask, they'll gladly let you borrow it. And the guy that owns this trailer saw that I was getting a little warm because my face was like pouring sweat. So he said, come in and sit in the air conditioning. I was like, I'm not going to argue. So, it's hot out there.
Oh, yeah.
I think they said 105 heat index today.
What's your name?
Emily Stover.
How old are you?
Old. Probably too old to be doing this. No, I'm not. I'm 32.
Still a young chicken.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
How long have you been doing this?
I started last year, and I didn't have that great of a year because I was trying to learn too much, too fast.
What do you do when you're not riding?
Thinking about riding, I get so excited just thinking about coming to the track. Nothing like going 163 miles an hour. Nothing like it. Tucked all down under your windscreen. Raise your head up, it'll get knocked off. Some are intimidated, but you know what? Most are really helpful. I mean, most are willing to lend a hand to help me do most anything, because I used to go to the races by myself all the time. And when I got here, I would just sometimes find somebody I didn't even know, and I would say, can I sit with you? I didn't know what else to do, you know. And then slowly you kind of make friends, and so you can make plans to sit with people. And long-term relationships, well, a couple, but honestly, it always comes down to I end up liking racing more than they do, or they think it's really cool to begin with sometimes, and then they don't want you to get hurt, you know, so they don't want you out here. And unless I get hurt, I'll do this as long as I can, as long as my pocket will allow, which is getting pretty empty right now.
I gotta go get my transport. That's your first trophy?
Awesome. What class?
My name's Chris Rivers. I've been riding since I was able to walk. I've been racing since '95 and currently leading the points championship in Expert Unlimited Super Sport. And here helping my dad and hanging out with my family for the weekend.
No, I didn't get into racing until my son did. So it's just something we do as a family and have a good time doing it.
Now you can't get away from it.
That's right. Too much fun now.
I'm the daughter. Yes,
Mom
I
has a
am.
beautiful red hair.
That's right.
And what do you think about this motorcycle?
I think it's great. I've been coming for a long time. Gives them something to do on the weekend. Gives my child something to look forward to doing.
You won't mind if he wants to ride?
No, I think it's good. He grew up around them, or he's been around them since he's been born, so I think it's great. He already wants to ride. So, I'm all for it.
What's your full name?
Kim Blaylock.
How old are you?
27.
We go to Daytona for the Nationals every year. We have a wonderful time there. We spend the whole week down there. That's where we take our vacation every year. We just have a ball.
Don't be so humble. Tell me how you did it when you first went down there.
First year I was down there, I finished 11th in the nation. So, felt pretty good about myself.
You should. That sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah. My son's finished up 8th tonight a couple times. He's done pretty well himself, considering he's racing against the big factory boys and everything. So, we have a lot of fun. It's something the whole family does. Warm out there. Here you go. Give him. George. All right. Here. George.
How's it feel?
Good. Feels good. Come here, Lynn. Feels real good.
Life is good.
Yeah, sure is. Did better than I expected it was going to.
Well, you guys have had a fantastic weekend, you and your son.
We've had a ball. We had a real good weekend. He's won 2. So I'm proud of him. I'm here more for the fun than anything else.
I like it when he's in the middle of the pack, not at the end.
One's fine. Then, because I had such a good entry speed, coming out of 2, I was at about 8 to 10 grand, it was perfect. And then all of a sudden it would bog. So then I downshifted. Okay, maybe.
It really kicked off during the wildfires of 1998 in Volusia County. I was directing traffic for the Volusia County Fairgrounds because of the fires that were ravaging the county. And a green Pontiac pulled over, and I thought it was someone looking for directions or taking pictures or something, and it was her. And the rest was history.
Stopping to say hi. Yep.
And she was just basically in the background.
I'd come bring a book, I'd read a book at the races, and I think one time I said, I'm getting really bored at the races. Is there anything else I can do? Why don't you race? I remember sitting right over here, as a matter of fact, and I was looking at the grid getting ready to go, and it was like I could feel the anxiety and the stress of those guys, and I said, I could never do that. I could never just have everybody looking at me and getting on the throttle and I'll stall.
It's true.
But Jeff said, hey, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Bought a 19.
Exactly.
Aprilia.
Yeah, exactly. 2001, the money, the time, and the bike came together. A friend of ours named Jeff Bankston, who owns a Kawasaki and Aprilia dealership here in Daytona, before his dealership was open, he gave us a line on a brand new Aprilia RS250, the one back here, that was located at downtown Ducati in Charleston, South Carolina. And I called them up, they gave me the out-the-door price, and the next morning I took a day off from the sheriff's office and picked up the bike. And it just happened to be her birthday also.
Yeah.
So I hurried home, I put the bike in the driveway and covered it with a bed sheet.
And did the unveiling.
And she drove up and I did the Carol Mero from Let's Make a Deal, and there it was. There was her new RS250. Yeah.
And we have a great time doing it together. I mean, that's the best part about racing.
A wonderful family atmosphere, and no one really cares about who wins and who loses, but it's just the act of participating that makes the sport so worthwhile. It can be expensive, but
it's expensive.
But what isn't? That's fun. And she's got a tremendous amount of support from the NASCAR family. Everyone from Mike Alton, Jim France.
Everyone's been great, super supportive. All of my friends at NASCAR at Daytona this year in February, they all kicked in, and there was $20 here, $50 there.
Right.
Yeah.
An interesting thing is that last year we ran the Team Challenge at Daytona International Speedway, which is a 52-lap, 200-mile endurance race for teams. And Jim France actually was in the pits helping us turn wrenches, setting up suspension, fueling up the bikes, putting the tire warmers on.
And
tire
saying, be
warmers on.
careful.
And this is Jim France, so he's got a racer's pulse.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think that we look at it. I mean, yes, there's the dangerous aspect to it, but I think it's the competition and the challenge that we both, I know, thrive on. Coming to the track, doing our personal best every time, and then celebrating the victories.
True.
I mean, I think that kind of overrides everything
well,
else.
that's a nice spiel, but the reality is I get very nervous when she goes out there because we've seen people crash, we've seen them crash hard, and as my friend Bart was filming her race, I had butterflies, and I always have butterflies when she goes out there. But that's just part of the sport, and hopefully she has the same for me. But she's a good racer, she's a smart racer, and mostly she practices a lot of track etiquette where she's not going to do anything stupid out on the track to endanger herself or anyone else.
Well, and that's a good point, because when Jeff goes out, yes, of course I worry about him, and I do get the butterflies for him, but I know what type of racer he is, and I know that he's, you know, he doesn't crash every weekend, and he rides with his head, so...
Right, because I have to go to work Monday morning.
Right.
And so does she.
Exactly. Responsibilities the next day.
And we don't heal as fast.
I'm Megan Stiles, and I'm 18 years old. Okay, I've been riding since I was, well, actually I've been road racing since I was 14, but I've been on a motorcycle since I was 6, and I grew up around it. My dad's been racing since I was 3 years old. Well, lucky for me, I just graduated, so from high school, but up until this year, it was a very big struggle. I missed a lot of school, but I worked hard and kept my grades up so I could graduate, and now I'm actually going to go to AMI and become a motorcycle mechanic. My friends, I have more female friends than I do male friends at school, and the girls think it's cool, they support me, and the guys are just basically jealous of it for the most part. Some of them talk to me and say it's cool, and some just don't want anything to do with me because I guess I intimidate them. But I mean, that's not what I'm trying to put across at all. This is something I love to do, and I'm going to continue to do it, whether, you know, people think it's cool or not. And I mean, my biggest supporters have always been my parents and always will be. So as long as they think I should, or as long as, you know, they're having a good time and they're still supporting me, that's what I'm continuing to do. I'm going to do what I feel like I want to do and not what other people think is cool or not.
It is a very expensive sport to do, and when we first got started in it, I was doing one racing, and my wife babysat 20 kids so that we could afford to go racing. And since we've been racing, we took 5 years off for a while and basically recouped our finances, and we wound up buying a business, and we've been running that business now for the past 10 years, and that really has kind of helped us to make it a little bit easier financially to keep doing this. It's still kind of, you got to make a choice of, do you want to race or do you want to do other things? And we choose to go racing.
No, I'm single.
Nobody even interests you a little bit?
Well, I mean, I have to admit, there are some good-looking guys around here at the track, but it's the whole traveling thing. Some of them you don't see a whole lot, and like even the guys back at home, I'm always gone. I've been gone racing for the last, well, this is my second weekend now. I haven't been home in a week, and then actually the weekend before we went to Kansas, where we were last weekend, we were busy then too, so I'm just never around. I just don't have time.
My name is Sam Salashore. I've been riding for 4 years. I've been racing for 2, and I'm currently 21. I started 19. I'm still amateur number 197.
What kind of bike do you ride? What size is it?
I have a 2003 R6 with 600cc displacement, and before this one I had a 600cc F4, and I just thought it was time for a change and time for a faster bike. I'm an athletic trainer, personal trainer, and I work and I go to school, I go to college full time, and my boyfriend and I would put it together, and you know, if anything happens, he's always there for me. He helps me get the bike set up and helps me pay for the races, and basically it's a teamwork effort between us. We are a team. I like to see, you know, he has his bike, same identical to my bike. He's an expert, and he just does what he can for me, and that's all I can ask, and I thank the world for everything he's done for me, and he helps me a lot, and he teaches me and coaches me through it, and he got me started on it. That's how I met him. And some people are threatened when they first start racing and they get passed by a girl or anything of the sort. They'll pretty much quit right away, but I think I've gone past that point with a lot of guys, and they kind of just either accept it or they kind of ignore me. Either way, it doesn't bother me. I think by any means do what you want to do. A lot of people I've made friends with, and they think it's a cool thing to see me race. And, you know, I may not be doing that great, but I'm still out there every weekend racing and trying to improve myself and my skills and what I can do. When I'm going into a turn, the thing I want to do, I want to set up before I even get to the turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my butt off the seat, and I'm pretty much have half my butt on the seat. I'm not hanging off very much. And when I'm going through the turn, I put my head over my wrist, and it forces me to look through the turn, forces me to stick my knee out, and I'm automatically in line with my shoulders and my butt, so it's not just like, it's just primary optimum body positioning when you're going through a turn. Now this is more aerodynamic. When I'm dragging my knees, I know how far I am from the ground and how much further I can push the bike and how much gas I can give it. Here's the other side, my knee's sticking out and my foot's on its heel and I'm on the end of the foot peg, so I'm dragging my foot, my toes, I'm dragging my knee, and sometimes I get close enough, if I like to, get close to my elbow on the ground. But this is how I pretty much go through any right-hander. You know, look through the turn, chin's over my wrist, and I got my shoulders squared off of my body. Right? This is my boyfriend, Ivan. This is the person I was talking about earlier, and he's the one who got me involved in everything. He's the one who's always by my side, helping me get faster. He's there to fix my bike in case it needs it.
Actually, I'm more proud of her. She's come through a lot. She fights a lot out there. She fights hard. She never quits. It's much easier to quit. And we see a lot of people do it, and you know what? She's stuck with it, and she's not quitting, and I'm absolutely proud of her.
My name's Ryan Clay. I'm 15 years old.
How long have you been riding?
Since I was 5. Been road racing for 2 years. During the school year, I just kind of make time for stuff. Try to get my work done as quick as I can just so I can make it to a race. You got to stay focused. And also just keeping stuff together, keeping your head straight. And my family business is a motorcycle shop, so I'm pretty much around motorcycles 24/7. In the summer, I work for my dad and helps fund the racing and stuff, but basically just working and racing. Yeah, I'm from Georgia, Peach State.
I would think that the way you present yourself with those earrings would be a little bit strange in Georgia. Do you get any negative feedback? Well, how do people react to you?
There's a few people, mostly just friends. They just kind of, my dad's friends and stuff like that, you know, just make little jokes and stuff, but it's just another way to express myself, I'd have to say.
A little while ago I met your brother. Does he travel with you all the time?
Yeah, he travels a good bit with us and does a lot of the maintenance on the bikes. Mostly a lot of the prep work, like changing tires, brake pads, and putting tire warmers on. He's a lot of help.
How old is your brother?
He's 14.
My name is Josh Sharon. I'm 14. I've been doing this since I was like 8. It's pretty fun. I ride a 125 and a 125 in the 250 class. Hoping for a good ride today. Been getting my times down, having fun.
practice on Sunday is, you know, just kind of a warm-up. You don't get a chance to do much experimenting with lines and stuff. Just kind of waking up. They only give you one chance to get out there today, and then it's the race. So I'm still learning the track. I guess I'll be learning it in the race. Yeah, Loudon was a good race. That was a great weekend. I didn't think I could go that fast. I hope that'll happen today. I hope I get out there and just, you get drawn in with faster riders, and suddenly you get the time that you didn't have before. So I'm really hoping that that happen today. I'm on the front row for qualifying, so I'm in a spot to do it. I just have to get a good start and stick with them, and getting new tires helps a lot too.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
What's your name?
Adrian.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 21st year. Off and on.
Talk to me.
Raced all season in '86 in California, and then took a 15-year hiatus, and then we've been racing for 3 years on vintage. I started on that one. This is a lot more fun, actually. This is very unique to have the position out so far out to the left that the leverage is very, very good. And then to the right, to go all the way over here, it's almost illegal. The leverage is very, very good, and it's a lot of fun. I'm a doctor. And I don't recommend this. It's probably not really good for your health.
Talk to me a little bit about that. What kind of medicine do you practice?
I'm a radiologist here in New Hampshire. We moved here 7 years ago from California and really enjoy it.